In the valley of Sereth, where rivers shone like molten glass and mountains guarded the horizon, there lay the kingdom of Caldrith. Its people were known for music, trade, and craftsmanship, but also for their fierce pride in freedom. At the heart of this kingdom ruled Queen Elira, a woman whose wisdom carried more weight than swords, whose smile steadied her people in times of fear. But peace is a fragile thing, and sacrifice often hides beneath its roots. The danger came from beyond the sea. A vast empire, the Drosian dominion, had conquered half the world, their legions moving like a storm across the lands. Their emperor, Varric the Unyielding, sent a messenger to Caldrith with a chilling decree. Bow to us, and you may keep your throne as our vassal. Resist, and we will drown your kingdom in fire. The court trembled. Generals debated war. Ministers whispered of surrender. But Queen Elira sat silently, her dark eyes fixed on the horizon. She knew the Drosian army numbered in hundreds of thousands, while her kingdom could muster only tens of thousands. To fight was madness. To surrender was slavery. Among those who advised her was Lord Darren, her closest friend and captain of the royal guard. He had known Elira since childhood, sworn to protect her even at the cost of his life. Where others wavered, Darren's voice was steady. My queen, freedom is worth more than life. If we must fall, let us fall standing. Elira's gaze softened. She understood his fire, but she also bore the burden of her people's survival. That night she walked alone into the palace garden, where the moonlight glimmered on the leaves of the listening tree, a tree said to bloom only when justice guided a ruler's heart. She placed her hand upon its bark and whispered, "Show me the path that spares my people." The wind stirred, and though no voice answered, she felt its silence press upon her chest. Some sacrifices, she realized, are not written in banners or swords, but in shadows unseen. Days later, emissaries from the Dominion arrived, demanding her response. Elira agreed to meet Emperor Varric in person at his coastal fortress. Many in her council cried out. It was madness to walk into the jaws of her enemy. But Elira only said, "A queen's life is a small price if it saves a kingdom." Darren begged to accompany her, but she forbade him. "Your place is here, to guard Caldrith if I do not return. Loyalty is not only to me, Darren, but to the people." He fell to one knee, anguish burning in his chest, but he obeyed. When Elira arrived at the fortress, Varric received her with mocking courtesy. His throne of iron rose above a hall filled with war banners, his soldiers armored like shadows. "Queen of a valley," he sneered, "you come without an army. Do you surrender?" Elira met his gaze. "I come not to surrender, but to bargain. Spare Caldrith, and I will give you what no army can, my life, freely." The emperor blinked, then laughed cruelly. "You offer yourself as hostage?" "No," she said, voice steady. "I offer myself as wife to bind Caldrith to your empire. Take me, and leave my people unscathed." The hall fell silent. Soldiers shifted uneasily. Even Varric paused, for such an offer was rare. Yet ambition stirred in him. To marry a queen freely would grant him not just power, but prestige. He agreed. And so, without fanfare, Elira bound her fate to her enemy. The marriage was swift, and Caldrith was declared a province of the Dominion, but unlike others, it was spared the lash of conquest. No soldiers burned its fields, no slaves were taken, no temples desecrated. In Caldrith, the people wept when the news arrived. They had expected war and ruin, but instead found their homes untouched. Some praised Elira's cunning, others whispered that she had abandoned them. Only Darren understood the full measure of her sacrifice. Years passed. Within the Dominion, Elira lived as an ornament of the emperor's court. Yet behind silken walls, she quietly worked for her people. She influenced trade laws, shielded Caldrith from heavier taxes, and sent secret aid during famine. Few saw her hand, but every kindness that reached Caldrith bore her unseen mark. She bore no children, though Varric demanded heirs. Rumors spread that she prayed nightly beneath the moon, her whispers carried across the sea. Meanwhile, Darin became regent in Caldrith, ruling in her name. He defended the kingdom from petty lords and marauders, always keeping her sacrifice alive in the people's hearts. Whenever doubt spread, he told them, "Do not mistake silence for surrender." The queen's heart still beats for Caldrith. Decades later, Emperor Varric died. His sons fought for the throne, tearing the dominion apart. In the chaos, Elira vanished. Some said she was slain. Others whispered she escaped by ship. One stormy night, as Darin, now gray and weary, stood by the listening tree, a hooded woman appeared. He knew her instantly. Though her hair was silver, her eyes were the same. "Elira," he breathed. She smiled faintly. "I could not return before. To do so would have doomed us all. But the empire has broken, and Caldrith is free again." He fell to his knees. "You gave everything, and we never saw it. The truest sacrifice," she said softly, "is not the one sung in halls, but the one made in silence." Elira did not live long after her return. Years of sacrifice had worn her body thin. Yet when she died, the listening tree blossomed in full, its silver leaves shimmering with light. People said it was the earth itself honoring her. Her tomb bore no crown, no jewels, only an inscription. She gave her life, and thus her people lived. And for centuries, the people of Caldrith told the story of the queen who sacrificed herself so they could walk free, a reminder that true greatness is not measured in conquest, but in what one is willing to give away for others.